Hello and welcome back to another RLCS Birmingham Major recap video. It was Championship Sunday today, and wow, yeah, what a day. What a day of Rocket League, fantastic to watch. I can say after that comfortably, we now know who the best team in the world is, that's for sure. What a day for them, Carmine Corp. I'm once again going to go and compare my previous predictions to what happened today. Again, I stunk it up. However, in my original Birmingham Major predictions, the day before it started, I guess Carmine Corp was going to win. What can I say? I feel like 80% of Rocket League thought that, but for once, I feel like the favourite has come out on top. I feel like that doesn't usually happen. Maybe it's more 50-50, but yeah, the favourite came out on top, and to be honest, they were dominant. They were very, very dominant in this split. I'm going to pull up some stats as well if I can, just to show how dominant they were. I think they only dropped 5 games. Didn't drop a single series, obviously, going through the upper bracket. Yeah, sheer dominance. It's the way they play, really. I mean, people can match the speed, but it's the decision-making up the field. A lot of times with these teams like we saw today, with Furia and even Vitality, especially Falcons, they go all out attack and don't make the correct decisions back. Not back. They don't make the correct defensive decisions upfield or in the midfield, overcommitting and overextending, and that's why you get exploited very easily. But Carmine, they managed to keep up the same level of pressure as these teams who do that without overcommitting, and that's what makes them so strong, and it's what made them have the most dominant LAN of all time officially. I think Gibbs said that. Yeah, crazy. I can't believe it. I mean, I can, but I didn't think it was going to be this much of a blowout on the final day. Anyways, let's start with, once again, how the day started, which was in the lower bracket quarters, I think. And I think we started with NRG Falcons to start the day. And this was a really interesting series because, like I was just talking about with the pace of the game, Falcons got off to a quick start. NRG looking a little bit shaky. The first game is always a warm-up. One team's always going to be a bit nervous. But it looked good for the Falcons. I honestly had the Falcons winning this one 4-2. So again, my predictions are terrible. But they just look so good against GK. But it's a real style versus style, right? So NRG's defensive style, they are the best defense in the world. I mean, easily. They were dominating all the savior stats. But even without that, the way they defend the midfield, the way they defend even when they're up, every touch is defensive. It is literally just, and then they pick their moments, and that's what they did in this series. They picked their moments, they defended well, they picked their moments, and I thought was what they did best is the ball kept ending up in the Falcons' back corner, and the Falcons always want to create like the best XG, I guess I'll call it XG, expected goal. They want to get the highest percentage out of the play. So every time it's in the corner, what they're trying to do is instantly get it upfield, either with banging it or like taking it up the wall. So the ball's straight, once the ball goes into the corner, there's someone from NRG instantly challenging or waiting and then instantly challenging. And there's a lot of goals actually that NRG got just off of like, I don't know, Falcons not controlling the ball well in the corner, which is weird because I don't think I've seen that before. That might be just sheer pressure that forced them to be there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I couldn't believe it really, but that's what happened. Just pressure, saw it out in the end, and they won. It was very close though, because obviously Falcons have the best offense in the world, so no matter how many goals you give away, you still have a chance. But every time they conceded more than 2 goals, it looked like they lost in this series. So you can't really, you can't give NRG a lead. That's for sure. We figured that out yesterday. Not yesterday, we figured that out the day before in Swiss. NRG, best defensive team in the world, and they didn't shut out Falcons, but they won this series by being so strong defensively, forcing Falcons into the corner, forcing them to overextend ever so slightly, and then picking their moments. And that is actually quite similar to this one, in my opinion. The Fury Vitality game. Vitality, once again, coming out like they did yesterday and winning the first 2. Not comfortably, but winning them. First one was pretty comfortable. Second one, still I would say they were the more dominant team, had more of the possession, but it went to overtime. Which they won, and once again you're thinking, okay, this looks good. I mean, yesterday I would have bet my house they were going to win that series when they went 2 up. This time, even seeing yesterday, I probably would have bet my damn house. They look good. I was like, oh, you know what, they look decent. They'll see it off. And then I don't know if it's these moments. I think Johnny Boy was hinting at talking about at one point that, I don't know, he said they feel like they get tilted or something goes wrong and that it just like slowly starts to collapse. And that's kind of what I felt like. I felt like Fury couldn't really find a foothold unless they were countering, which was true. They were picking their moments, and that's how they won the game 3. They picked their moments, and there were a couple sort of mistakes. But then as the game went on, Vitali became the less consistent team. Sure, they still had more possession in some of the games and controlled, but if there's little mistakes or overcommits and Fury picked up on those. I mean, they are at this level, you make mistakes and that's what's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, they went from being consistent and shutting the team out to, I don't know, just slowly tilting and just the opposite happening, and you're just thinking, why is that? I'm sure that's something they'll work on for going back online, but maybe the pressure of the crowd. I'm not sure why Vitality struggled in front of the crowd so much this time. Yeah, they're all winners, so it's not some sort of mentality thing, but yeah, very, very interesting series, back and forth. Both of these two were amazing to watch. Best of sevens. Oh, yes, you love to see it. However, I think the next one, no, it must have been, was it who played next? No, I think it was the Ultimates Energy. I think it says, actually. Yeah. The Ultimates Energy, again, it's not even just Buchholz, but the fact that we're watching another any versus any matchup is kind of crazy. This one was the most entertaining of the Team Ultimates Energy saga, though. First Killer, Chronic, and LJ surprised me. They're the biggest overperformers easily this major. I didn't even rate them. I'm going to be honest. I had them going through, I think, top 8 in my original predictions, but going out quite easy in top 8. I mean, they didn't impress me online, but they're really good on LAN. Very, very consistent. And this one was kind of weird, because I was watching thinking, why is one team beating the other one here? And I don't know. It just seemed like it was both teams firing at their best energy, the defensive best. Team Elements also defending so well, but maybe the counters, I don't know, it just felt like sometimes a series can be so even that it's not luck, but it's a flip of the coin, and that's what I felt like, especially with those two overtimes. They were so evenly matched, and all of a sudden Ultimates just have the games in both of those. Also, a couple of mistakes. I think I remember Atomic Beast Mode actually made a big mistake in the corner and gave away a goal. I think that was in one of the overtimes. But yeah, very, 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 very entertaining to watch. Again, another 4-3, and you're thinking, this is going to be the best day of all time, right? Everyone's so evenly matched. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. I kind of wish Energy went through. I think it would have been maybe a more highly contested final, but I think Sad Jr., genuinely, as a coach, if he figures a team out, they're kind of cooked. I'm not going to lie, he seems to have figured out a few of these teams. Obviously, they've played Energy enough times now, they can figure them out, and they did. But yeah, you can't figure out Karmine Corp. We'll get onto that later. Karmine Corp, again, this was brutal. This was really brutal. Obviously, my predictions are kind of screwed up on the bottom, because I had Falcons, and I also had Falcons winning that one against the Ultimates. Obviously, Falcons didn't even make it to semis. Up here, I did actually, because I did predict the exact scoreline of the Vitality Fury. I predicted that 3-4. Fury at Ice on LAN. I guess it was kind of true. I mean, I did say that. This one, though, yeah, I had this as a 4-3 again. I just thought Furia would just find something, They didn't look, especially after such a close high-level series, you'd expect a team to contest, even with the best in the world, who are now very obviously the best in the world, but yeah, they didn't. Completely suffocating from KC. Like I was just talking about, you have to try and match that speed and that intensity across like the midfield, the defense, and the attack. You have to match it the whole time. And if you overcommit, overextend, you're gonna concede. And yeah, KC just don't over contest. They over contested once, and it was in that game 3. And that's how Fury got one of their goals. Otherwise, their 2 other goals, they had to just pick their moments, like Vitality did, or NRG sort of pick their moments team. Yeah, but they just didn't. They didn't pick their moments. Then it was hard for them to even create chances. Really, it was a real shout across the whole board, and it was kind of then when I realised, yeah, this one's probably cooked. I kind of thought it was over. I think probably a lot of people did. But then again, the Ultimates, they surprised me. They surprised everyone this land by how well they do. So maybe, just maybe, they could have had a fantastic final series. Again, respect to Jan, Lost and all of them. Also, Lost in this series against Vitality was immense. I thought Birthday, Lost, Buff was still there. But it must have worn out. The clock must have struck midnight in this game because they couldn't get nothing going. Jan actually let me down offensively in that one. I think he'll be disappointed with how he played today, but there's not much you can do against a team that was on fire this much. I mean, sure, conceding 3 goals in this one. I think it was also 3 goals in this one. Yeah, 3 goals, 6 goals across 8 games. Yikes, that is tough. It's tough. Apart from that first one, which went to overtime, I think I was watching Ato, like he at one point, I think he was nervous. At one point when they conceded, I'm pretty sure he literally got a towel and wiped his hands of sweat. So yeah, a little bit of nerves off the start, and that's why that one was close. The rest of them, yeah, absolute, just blowout. Really, I mean, there's nothing you can do, like, to some extent, when a team is on fire like this and they play the game the way everyone wants to play the game. Like, all the high teams want to play the game with that fast, literally across the board, fast play everywhere, but not overextending. The Ultimates actually didn't overextend. They're good at not doing it. I think that's why they made it so far, is they actually have that balance pretty good, yeah. And FK and LJ and Chronic also just peaked. I don't know if I've ever seen any of them play that well. It's the best Ultimates I've played ever, and it's crazy that it was on LAN. But it just isn't. It was not enough to do anything about just the sheer offensive KC. I mean, Fatira was immense. Drally getting MVP at the end. But yeah, I mean, what a LAN. Seriously, what a great, phenomenal LAN to watch. I would have liked there to be a bit less of a gap. I find sometimes when there's a gap between the very top 1, top 2 in a LAN from everyone else, it can be a little bit like, oh, you know what's going to happen. Again, I couldn't really predict this Ultimates team doing this well, but otherwise I had the top 8, you know what I mean? So I wish the top 8 was a bit more close, maybe in these ones, because you're thinking, oh, they're blowing them out, they're going to do well here. No, I don't think TRK, so I didn't talk about that, but I don't think TRK pulled up like he usually did. People are saying, streets are saying replace him with Naupo. I think that's crazy from one bad LAN from TRK, because we know how good he is, top 10 player in the world. Tough, yeah, he didn't. Roas was hard carrying offensively, which in my opinion isn't usually the case, but still great watch. Yeah, like I said, MVP Drally. I'll quickly talk about the overall of these. I find this interesting because there's some things to be said about what needs to happen with representation. I think OCE, do they deserve 2 teams? I think it's their worst LAN of all time, but come on now. I know Wildcard is so much better than that, but I think, honestly, all those teams should only have 1 team each. I think South America and MENA are definitely deserving of 2, but Oceania to be up there with MENA and South America? No. I think, honestly, for the team that wins the most LANs out of Europe and NA, I think they deserve a 5th spot. Yeah, I think they deserve a 5th spot. Or throw in an Antarctica team or something funny. Do something funny like that. Otherwise, I don't want to see 2 Oceania teams anymore, to be honest, with all due respect. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. But yeah, I'll just say the biggest letdown of the LAN was wildcard, the biggest, not let up, but the biggest overperformer of the Ultimates. Yeah, domination yesterday, but not so much domination today. Still, wouldn't even expect them to win this one, so well done, respect, very, very good. LAN, it was a joy every day to talk about these games. Rocket League, just easily the best esport of all time. I gotta say the crowd was a little bit dead, but oh well, is what it is. I'm glad I was gonna go, maybe glad I didn't go, but yeah, nah, what a LAN, and the next one's gonna be even better. I can't wait. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope I've given a little bit of insight, nothing too crazy, you know what I mean. I might do a top 10 players of all time list soon, or some actual gameplay, well, we'll see. But yeah, thanks for listening to what I have to say, because I've got a lot to say about this beautiful esport. Thank you for watching.